Welcome back to the channel. We are here to review episode 8 of She-Hulk. And I know what y'all ready for. I know what y'all ready to talk about. That boy Charlie Cox showed up as Daredevil. All right, we've had Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock. That boy showed up in Spider-Man, No Way Home. Okay, we had that. But we was waiting for him to put that suit on. All right, and I ain't talking about the lawyer suit. I'm talking about the horns, bro. We wanted to see him in the horns. We got that. All right. Perfect presentation, okay? The way they presented Daredevil in this episode was compliments to the chef. All right, it was amazing. Okay, I was excited. As soon as he showed up on the screen, I was like, oh, it's about to go down. But look. I'm excited. Let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of like everything that happened in this episode because there's a lot to unpack, all right? So hang on, okay? It's about to be a long and bumpy ride, okay? Look. Let's go ahead and get into it. The plot of this episode, Jen was trying to help Leapfrog with his situation. Basically, at the beginning of the episode, Leapfrog was fighting some criminals, you know. He going crazy, all right? One of the best superheroes out there, Leapfrog, like he's unstoppable, bro. Like this man, I'm pretty sure he could have took out Thanos single-handedly, bro. Like Leapfrog is legit. But Leapfrog was out here, and today, out of all days, his suit defects. His suit defects while he out here trying to stop these two criminals from stealing, okay? It defects, and he's basically explaining to Jen, like, the situation, like, yeah, my suit defected, I need some money for this. Like, I got third-degree burns on both of my legs, and, like, that's because his boosters, okay? He has boosters on his legs, on his suit, which I feel like they should have been in a different spot, but, I mean, then again, he is Leapfrog, so this kind of helps him jump. Or at least give off that impression that he's jumping like a frog. So it makes sense for the design, right? So Leapfrog is basically explaining like, yeah, his suit, it had a defect, and he explains, oh, well, Jennifer asks, okay, who's the manufacturer? So he says Luke Jacobson, which is the same manufacturer for She-Hulk suits. So she's immediately like, oh crap, like I gotta go talk to Holloway so I can like get Pug this case. So she tries to do that, and Holloway's like, no, you got to take this case. Like his dad, Leapfrog's dad, is like real high up. Like we're trying to stay in their good graces. So she was like, okay, like, but I need to get out of this situation because I can't ruin my friendship. Well, not my friendship, but like. Basically, my business relationship with Jacobson, okay? She don't want to mess that up. So she was like, yeah, I really just don't want to do this. And he was like, well, your best option is to go tell him before any papers are filed. So, like, y'all come to an agreement or something. So she was like, all right, I'm going my way and do that. Okay, so she shows up to visit Luke, and she's a little hesitant to even bring up the topic. Like, oh crap, like I got to confront this dude and tell him like, yeah, so I got a case and it's against you. So she breaks it down and she's like, yeah, so I had somebody come to me and they had a suit made by you and it kind of had a defect. And he just like immediately, no, that's not my suits. My suits don't have defects. And I mean, it was kind of true. Like he makes pretty good suits. So he's immediately like, meanwhile, hold up, because he was working on Jen's dress for her ceremony while she's like presenting this situation to him. So immediately he gets pissed and he rips the dress. Like all the work he was doing, he was even doing the work while she was explaining it. And soon as she got done, he was like, oh yeah, screw all that. And then she was like, yo, I already made a payment on it. Like, nope, I don't care. Like, get out. Like, it is what it is. You just pissed me off. So she's like, all right, cool. You know what? See you in court, because he pretty much just ripped up everything he's, made for her. Well, not everything, but, the suit, well, the dress he was working on. Okay, ripped that right in front of her. So we get the court session, okay? So Jen is in there representing Leapfrog, and we got Luke is just sitting over there all lonesome. Who's about to represent Luke? Everybody's like, okay, are you representing yourself? Then the door opens to the courtroom, And who walks in? Matt Murdock. Bro, I almost fell on the floor. Like, I was not ready for this. My boy Matt Murdock. Like, I had a feeling in the back of my head that, oh, he got to come represent. Like, the way they were setting up this scene, I knew he had to show up. My boy Matt Murdock come walking in with the stick. Okay, you know my boy can't see. Okay, so my boy walks on over there. All right, and he's like, yeah, I'm representing Luke. Okay, he sits down. This court session gets started. My boy Matt Murdock on top of everything. Okay, the first thing he bring up, because She-Hulk's going into it. She's like, yeah, we should bring in some witnesses. I'm pretty sure Leapfrog isn't the only one with a suit defect, right? So she's like, we should call in some other superheroes that could possibly have a suit defect. And Matt Murdock's like, no, that's not a good idea, He was all in the mic. He was like, yeah, because Sokovia Accords, that got repealed. Yeah, like, yeah, that's an invasion of superheroes' privacy. Like he was doing in all of that. So we got, I don't know what just happened right there. We got the Sokovia Accords. They got repealed. Okay, we got some information about that. All right, so we ain't got to worry about the Sokovia Accords no more. But he got into that, and then we also we continue the conversation, and then Matt Murdock just gives a little sniff in the court. He's like, he caught on to something. All right. He was like, what kind of fuel did you put in them boosters? Okay. This man says jet fuel. Leapfrog put jet fuel in his boosters on his legs. So your suit wasn't a defect. It was you being an idiot. So this one, Luke was like, well, that wasn't in my instructions for the superhero suit. And he said, well, why did you do that, pretty much? And that's when Leapfrog was just like, no, I ain't do that. I ain't do that. And Matt Murdock said something funny right here. He was like, yes, he did. He's lying. I can tell he's lying, but don't ask me how I know. That had me dead. I ain't gonna lie. Cause that, like, just playing off of Matt Murdock's like previous history, like before, when he introduced, like, he can tell when people are lying in his actual show. Like the way they like reintroduced it here, it was pretty cool. Like he's like, yeah, I can, he's lying. I can tell, but don't ask me how I know. That was pretty like funny. So I enjoyed that. But we continue, and basically Matt Murdock and Luke, they win the case because the suit wasn't defect. Okay, that, like, it was pretty much cap. It wasn't defect. So we continue on to a bar. Okay, Jen, she's just sitting at the bar, and the bartender brings a drink and was like, yeah, this guy over there paid for it. And she looks over, and who is it? Once again, like, I popped again. Like, I'm so sorry, I popped again. But Matt Murdock shows up once again. All right, my boy pulls up, buys Jen a drink. He comes sit next to her. He like, hey, so, yeah, how you doing? No, but for real, like, they get in a nice conversation. Like, pretty much, he's explaining that he's from Hell's Kitchen. He's just here because he had to pick up some new suits. All right, that means he has multiple suits, guys. The one suit we've seen is not the only one he has. So I wonder what he's been equipped with. Like, I'm not that into the comics, so I don't know what he actually, like, what other abilities or gadgets he gains. But stay tuned for that. I mean, pretty much we know we're gonna find out in his show, but I was just happy to hear suits. So this might not be the only suit. If you don't like his yellow and red suit, and this was made fun of, like, later on in the episode, calling it mustard and ketchup. But I believe he will have his red suit, and possibly we will get his Shadowland suit, all black with red eyes. I'm just saying, we might get it. We might get it in Daredevil TV show. So we continue on, and they're talking about pretty much how he's in Hell Kitchen and stuff like that. That's where he's from. Okay, blah blah blah. Jen's like, okay, you live in double life. Like they get into this conversation about a double life, and Matt Murdock he says something pretty cool here. All right, pretty intriguing. I love this line that he said, and I actually had to put it in my notes because it was a good quote. Like, well, a quote for a superhero. Let me say that because he can't really like use it out here pretty much. But Jen Walters, what? Okay, because the way she uses law, to help people that society fails them, but then She-Hulk can help people when law fails them. Beautiful line. Beautiful. I never thought, well, nah, I ain't even gonna lie and say I never thought about it, but just the way he delivered that and like brought it to Jen's attention, like, look, you can help people in law, like in court, and then after that, you can help people if the laws don't. Like, that was dope, all right? And that just means like Jen is getting more comfortable as She-Hulk. Like, I think she is pretty comfortable by now, but that just like finalized it and put the nail in the coffin. And especially because the scene we get next after this. But Matt Murdock gets a call meanwhile at the bar, and then Jen's getting text messages from Todd. And he's like, yeah, we need to meet up, blah, blah, blah. It's something, legal issues, and I need to talk about it ASAP. No Rocky, all right? And Murdock walks back over, and then she's like, can we get another drink? And he's like, oh, I gotta handle some business. All right, so Matt Murdock, he walks on off. Jen gets another text because she was pretty much trying to ignore this Todd text. And he texts, what did he say? He said something, and it was like, bro, I got pissed off immediately. He said something about, do I have to confirm with Mr. Holloway that GLK and H is actually a 24/7 firm? Like, do I have to hit him up and confirm? I was so mad, bro, because I'm like, oh, you one of them. Like, why you gotta act like this? Even though we know behind the scenes, like, this man is the villain. Like, I was pissed, okay? Like, there's really people out here like that, and just like that's a Karen right there. That's definitely giving Karen. But yeah, we got that scene, and we continue on. Basically, Jen goes home. Well, not home. I'm tripping. She goes to meet up with Todd, and Todd basically explains how he went to auction and actually obtained a Wakanda war spear. And he actually put down $1 million on it. Okay, and he kept saying, he was like, $1 million to try to impress Jen, and Jen's just straight facing this man. Oh my god, I was about to say something, but she's just straight facing this man, and he's like, $1 million, and then she's like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like, she's not impressed by money, bro. Like, she's a lawyer, even though it's like $1 million, but like, Jen is not impressed by that. I'm sorry, like, it's not working. So we get deeper in the conversation and stuff. He was like, basically, like, they was telling him that, I mean, we know vibranium gets stolen, so they was telling him, like, yeah, that's stolen items, so we need you to return that. He's like, well, I got the receipts, and he scoops closer over to Jen, and then he's like, let's stop being coy. Like, I know you really, they're pretty much saying y'all feeling each other and stuff. And She-Hulk immediately gets up. All right, Jen's pissed. She's like, oh yeah, I'm out of here. And he's like, oh dang, like, okay, like he can't do nothing at this point. So Jen goes home, and she gets a call from Leapfrog. He's basically saying he's being attacked while he's driving somewhere, and she's like, okay, I'm come help. So he sends his location. She says it's like right around the corner. So she's like, I'm gonna come help. Before she leaves, she goes and grabs her super suit that we haven't seen yet, but we knew what was coming. Okay, we knew what was coming. And I feel like what Matt Murdock said to her earlier actually got her to pull out this suit finally. Like, this is the time to pull it out. So she goes and gets the suit. She shows up at the scene. They end up in a parking garage. At the top of the parking garage, She-Hulk stops the car, and who comes flying off the top of it? Daredevil himself. And let me just say, these next few seconds of this show after this moment were amazing. Daredevil, I don't know who animates, like, what, not even animate, I'm tripping. Who does the choreography for all that, like, who comes up with that? But the way that Daredevil was moving was beautiful. It was clean, bro. Like, I jumped up out of my seat the way he was moving. Like, he wasn't hitting her at all. It was just the movements Daredevil was doing. Like, he was so evasive. Like, he was not trying to stick with She-Hulk. But the way he was ducking and dodging and flipping and stuff, I was like, bro, this is so smooth. And I can say, like, Disney, Marvel, the MCU, they are great with like movements and stuff like that. Well, with most of their projects, there's been some that's been a little clunky, but Daredevil was phenomenal. All right, keep his movement just like how he was, because he started doing parkour. He jumped off the parking garage, grabbed one of the levels, and slid in with the smoothness. He was swift, bro. He was, oh my god. Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox, Daredevil. Amazing, bro. All right, so they get to the ground. All right, we got Leapfrog still trying to get away. He drove out of the parking garage. Daredevil's trying to catch up to him. Hey, I think he got the speed. I ain't gonna put him up there with Captain America and Black Panther. I ain't even gonna put him over there. But he looked like he was keeping up with the car. I ain't even gonna lie. But eventually She-Hulk catches up to him, grabs him, takes off his mask, and he's like, hold up, Jen, hold up. So takes off the mask. Jen's like, oh, it's you, it's Matt. So she's like mind blown. She was like, oh, so you're like a superhero? He's like, yeah. Like, he puts back on the mask. He's like, I'm Daredevil. Like, I just laughed because like she had no idea. Like, who is this man? This man talking about I'm Daredevil. That was just hilarious. Okay, like, bruh, the way he said it, it was hilarious. But he's pretty much like, yeah, I'm Daredevil, And then she was like, so are you really blind? Because if you're not, that's real messed up. Like, he's like, no. Like, I can hear things. Like, I'm not faking it. Okay, I'm really blind. Some fucking things falling and stuff over there. But yeah, he was like, I'm not really blind. I mean, no, my bad. He's like, I am blind. Okay, I just hear things. All right. And he's pretty much explaining why he's chasing Leapfrog. He's pretty much chasing Leapfrog because he kidnapped Luke. And it's pretty crazy because they just had the court session. And Leapfrog, he moves pretty quick. I'm going to say that. He moves pretty quick. And so he kidnapped Luke. He's at the lily pad, his pretty much secret base, which is not so secret because they show up to the warehouse. Yes, it's a warehouse with a big sign on top that says lily pad. Real good. It's real hidden. I don't think anybody would catch on. But we get this, and pretty much Daredevil is explaining the plan, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna sneak in, take out the guys, boom, boom, boom. He's like, just follow my lead, pretty much. And She-Hulk was like, why wait for you to pick off one by one all the henchmen, and I can just, go in there and smash everything. And he's like, first of all, they're not henchmen, they're goons. Henchmen would actually follow the cause. Goons are hired thugs. And I was like, you know what? I never thought about that. That is a very good point. And now I'm gonna stick to that. Henchmen and goons, now I know the difference. Like, I didn't know the difference before, but now I definitely know. So we got this, and yeah, Daredevil pretty much runs down there, and Jennifer keeps talking about the tension between her and Matt Murdock, which we have been feeling, like, a lot of it, especially at the bar when, like, the cherry was dropping in the drink, and you seen the mixture of green and red. I feel like that was definitely a hint that they're gonna do something. All right, so we continue the episode. Daredevil gets in the building, and we get a phenomenal hallway scene. Daredevil takes out everybody in the hallway, which I'm confused with why why were the goons given crossbows? Okay, I understand, like, probably you want to be silent. I hope it's not a reason for like a frog. I hope it has no connection to that. And he's like, yeah, because I'm leapfrog, so y'all gotta have crossbows, no guns. Like, I was just confused why they had crossbows, but that was just me nitpicking. But yeah, he takes out everybody in the hallway. They didn't stand a chance. Okay, Daredevil, he was phenomenal. He was phenomenal in this. Oh my god, why am I freezing up? I don't know what's going on right now, guys, but he was phenomenal in that part. And it was pretty cool to see him in this type of atmosphere because now he's in the MCU doing this and not just in Netflix. Like, this is all canon now. And he is cold, okay? Now I slick want to see a fight between him and Steve Rogers, but I don't know. I mean, who knows? Secret Wars. Who knows? But I want to see them either fight together or fight against each other. I feel like that would just be a unique fight. And it would be pretty cool. I also want to see him fight Spider-Man for some reason. Like, I just want to see it. But in the middle of this fight, She-Hulk just breaks through the floor and, you know, she just ends everything. Okay, they walk in the room together to confront I was about to say Lily Pad, Leapfrog in the Lily Pad, and they save my boy Luke, and Leapfrog actually jumped out the window and like screwed his legs. Like, he's done. He's broken. So this man gets taken away and they save Luke. And pretty much Jennifer rekindles with Luke. He's like, all right, I will continue to make your ceremony outfit, and we are somewhat good now. So we get that part, and then we go to Jen. Jen and Matt, they go back to the sign on the lily pad. And it was like, well, Jen was asking like, so when do you go out of town? Well, when do you leave? Pretty much. And he was like, yeah, tomorrow type deal. And she was like, oh dang, like, yeah, he's on his way back to Hell's Kitchen, so you better move fast. She was like, well, let's do something tonight. So, you know, things got to kicking. So they go back to the apartment, and Charlie Cox, Matt Murdock, Daredevil, goes and gets his freak on with Jen. Okay, and this was like, the tension was there the whole episode, and I've been waiting. Okay, I was waiting the whole episode for this moment. All right, and they go out there, and, well, they go in there, and she's like struggling to take off his suit, which was hilarious. All right, I love that part. And it gave like a relatable moment, even though I'm not like a superhero. Okay, I'm not a superhero. I'm just saying, like, a relatable moment when, you know, you're like struggling to get off your clothes when you're trying to do the do. Okay, but they go and do the dance with no pants, and that happened. All right, so the next morning, you know, we see Jen on the couch, and then we see a funny scene of Daredevil like just walking down the street with his shoes still off, but he has the whole Daredevil outfit on, which was hilarious. All right, we get Nikki coming upstairs, and she's like, yeah, I seen a dude in a devil costume outside. Like, it was crazy. And then she was like, oh, oh, y'all did something. And then Jen's just talking about how great of a night it was. And then Jen breaks the fourth wall, and she's like, shouldn't the episode be over? Like, why are y'all still here? And then she's like, okay, I feel like something's about to happen. Like, is Red Hulk about to show up, or am I about to get fridged? Like, oh, the next episode is the season finale. Like, she's breaking all this down. And then Nikki just jumps out the side, and then she actually jumped out the side like Wolverine. It's like she did the whole claw thing and brought the arms down, which pretty cool, because we did see that article in one of the earlier episodes that a man fighting in a bar with claws. And I feel like she read into that. I feel like she knows about Wolverine now. And there's probably a video out there. The fact that she did that, I feel like she actually knows about Wolverine now. Because that was a pretty cool reference. So we know Wolverine is out there somewhere now. And the fact that she did that, it was just pretty cool. But then we also got the Red Hulk reference with Jen saying, is there going to be a Red Hulk or something? That was pretty cool. Either Red Hulk or Madman. We get one or the other. But it was pretty cool to see that regardless and hear that, my bad. And all that. So we go on to the ceremony where Jen is awarded Lawyer of the Year along with like 6 other people. So it wasn't just Jen. They all get called to the stage, and as they're going down the line, they finally get to Jen, and Jen's going to explain like how she want to like basically thank her parents and stuff. And then the screen behind her just like blacks out, and then it turns back on, and it's basically the intelligentsia revealing stuff of Jen's personal information. So after Josh hacked the phone and stuff, this is pretty much all her information from the phone coming up on the screen. And then we finally get a video of Josh propping up his phone, and he's about to get his freak on with Jen. So this man recorded them two doing the do, which you could have used this to get Josh arrested if anything else wasn't good enough. But now she knows Josh was actually a part of this. But yeah, this little scene, and mind you, her parents are still at the party, all her friends and stuff. And it seemed like Nikki was the only one trying to turn off like what was going on the screen. Like they was about to get their freak on. Like they still had clothes on and stuff, but the fact that they was about to, you know, do on the big screen at the ceremony, like all her co-workers, friends, family are there, and they do this there. Like they revealed all this. So Jen immediately smashes the screen before it gets any further, and basically she looks around the room and people are running in fear. This is exactly what Bruce talked about, because he was like, once they fear you, that's it. So this is that moment that Bruce talked about. This is the callback. Like this is crazy. Okay, so now Jen's in this situation where everybody's like scared. Hopefully they come back to ease, because like she doesn't look that scary. Like the Hulk actually looks scary in both form. Matter of fact, all the forms he's mostly been in, except for the Ragnarok look. I like that. He doesn't look scary. And then Smart Hulk, of course. But most of his earlier forms, especially Incredible Hulk, that dude was huge. Okay, that he was towering. That I would be terrified seeing a big green man walk down the street like that. He's about tall as 2 floors. Yeah, I would definitely be scared. But yeah, everybody runs out in terror. But then she looks in the back of the room and she sees that there's some masked men in the back. So she chased these masked men, and I believe one of the masked men that she actually picked up would have been Todd, but she didn't get to unmask him. She got surrounded by some soldiers. They had their little sonic guns and stuff. They was ready to blast her. So she immediately drops Todd, which is believed to be Todd. But she drops him, and then she is surrounded. Nikki is like, stop, don't do nothing to him, and all that. Like, everybody's watching this scene. So as she's surrounded, she has her hands up, and she turns and looks at us, looking for help. All right, breaking the fourth wall again. And then we close out the show. This was a great episode, and I give it a 9 out of 10. It was dope. It was really dope. And I can't wait to see what happens in the season finale, because now Jen is looked at as an enemy. She just destroyed everything, and she possibly might lose her job again. So we gonna see where this goes, bro. But this was a great episode. Comment down below how you feel about it. Like, do you feel like every episode should have kept up with like how this felt? Or like what? Like, how do you feel about this? Also, Charlie Cox, are y'all happy to see him as Daredevil? Did you like the presentation of Daredevil? Was it not perfect? Like, dude, it was perfect to me. But yeah, I enjoyed this whole episode, bro. If you enjoyed this video, this review, go ahead and leave a like. And if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. Yes, it's subscribe, that big red subscribe button. Also the bell button to be notified when I upload more videos. All right, even though I did this video solo dolo, I usually do this in a group. All right, so next episode, pretty sure I'm gonna have my boys back, or gal, whoever shows up on the show. Like I just be hitting up my friends, be like, yo, who want to be on the show this week? And nobody wanted to be on the show this week. Y'all missing out. All right, y'all missing out. They should have been here. I know a lot of people that would have been excited to talk about this on here with me, but it was just a lot of things going on. But solo dolo, like, we still killed it. We still killed this whole review. So if you enjoyed it, go ahead and leave a like, and if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. Yes, it's scribble that big red scribble button. Also the bell button so you can be notified when I upload more videos. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So check out the channel. I got more reviews if you're still like behind on She-Hulk and all that, but I'm pretty sure you're not if you watch this whole video through. So your boy Dre is out. Splash.